This short video is to demonstrate how we use the Eclipse S1000D for FrameMaker application, where we're actually going to start using referring to warnings and cautions located in the common repository. We're going to do this by first of all looking at the principles of the warnings and cautions repository, and then we're going to have a look at that repository, and then we're going to connect the repository from a data module, and then we're going to use the warning referencing and using the warning in a data module. So that's what we're going to be doing, and it's a partial demonstration and partial showing the actual thing used in our application. The diagram at the right hand side there shows the principle of operation. First of all, we've got the warnings and cautions repository, and that can contain several warnings and cautions. So what we have to do then is in the data module, where we actually want to use one of those warnings, we need to put in an external warning reference, or a caution reference. Is that what you want to do? And what that does is it causes Eclipse to then search for the repository. You'll get a window come up on the screen asking you which particular warning that it's found in the repository. So then you say that you actually want that then. Then you need to refer to that within the data module. And you need to do that by inserting a warning reference in the data module, which then allows you to select the warning that you've referred to in the first part of the data module. And then if you use an Eclipse Final Output Build, it'll put the warning into the location where you've actually asked for it to be put. And you'll notice that we've changed the graphic at the right hand side here. Really what we're doing here is showing the fact that you can actually have many data modules referring to that repository, and if you need to, you can refer to a warning more than once from several different data modules. It works exactly that way. First of all, we're going to have a look at a repository which comes with the bike pack from S1000D issue 4.1. So what we're going to do here is look at the repository. This is a warnings repository, and you can see that that's what the structure is there. We've got a warning spec and we've got another warning spec. And these numbers here are automatically allocated to it when it gets installed. You won't see that when you actually view it in the data module. But you'll note that up here that it says that the information code is 012A. And the reason for that is that they have not currently allocated a specific information code for a warning or a caution repository. So this is what we have to do. We have to look for this 012A, very specific. What we're going to do now is to open a data module, and we're going to link that data module to the repository that we've just had a look at. We're going to link to this repository, and what I've done is I've actually got a file here which I'm going to show you how we actually work with it. What you can see then is to link to that repository immediately after the no references information, the reference, immediately before the descriptive or whatever the other data module type is. Immediately above that, what we're going to insert there, we're going to insert warnings and cautions ref. Now that kicks in the system that actually enables us now to interrogate that file that we had before. What I'm going to do though before I do that is to close that file, otherwise we'll run into difficulties. So let's get back to where we were. There we go there, warnings and cautions ref, and inserted. And we're going to go specifically for a warning. And what we have now is that the system has accessed that repository, and we can see here that warning 1 and warning 2, if you remember, we saw those when we were looking at it. What I'm going to do now then is to make an explicit reference to that and select one. We'll select the warning, that one there. So now we are allowed to select that, and what happens is that that information now gets inserted into the data module, and we can use that later. Having inserted a reference to the repository, our next step is to actually link to that internal reference which is inside the data module, so that we can actually close the system to get us to display what it is we want to display. What we're going to do now is to insert that warning that we've just referenced, and we do that by the standard method which S1000D has adopted. In this particular case, you'll note in the structure view that there is an attribute called warnings refs and an attribute called caution refs. Now what this means is then that what you have to do, you need to insert, I've given the warning a reference of W1. And what you need to do then is to, at this point, insert the reference which I've said is W1. And what happens now is that it actually has brought the warning in. And it's actually inserted a particular mechanism to enable us to display that. So you can see that the data module now has had the warning in, and if that warning is updated, then this warning here, displayed here, will be updated in line with it when it is published. That's the end of this short video showing how you insert a reference to a warnings common repository. There are other videos available showing other features.